And from the moment that I started drinking ayahuasca, which was in 2003, I did start to get messages that I needed to do something about my cannabis habit, and would even feel really bad about that during the session itself. But I kept going back to the habit. And it was only in 2011, when I was already up to something like 35, 40 ayahuasca sessions, and I went down to Brazil for 5 sessions, that, and I shall continue to call her Mother Ayahuasca, whether she's real or not. Mother Ayahuasca focused on my cannabis problem and showed me that I was moving in the wrong direction in my life, and that I was poised on the edge of an abyss, and that if I continued to allow my behavior to deteriorate in the way that it was doing because of my abuse of cannabis, there would be some sense in which I might be immortally doomed, that I could not put right the wrongs and the pain and the hurt that my behavior was causing. So, in a way, Mother Ayahuasca took me to hell. And I'm not claiming that hell is real either.
It was your experience.
But I was taken to a place and shown very, very vividly, this is what you will face if you don't fix this problem in your life.
What did that look like?
It looked like something out of Hieronymus Bosch. You know, Hieronymus Bosch was a visionary artist of the 1400s, and he painted hell a number of times, and it looked like that. And it looked a little bit like the ancient Egyptian judgment hall of Osiris, where every action, every thought, every deed, every moment of your life becomes transparent, and you must account for it. And I found that where the heart is weighed in the scales against the feather of truth. And I found that the bending out of shape of my behavior and my attitude to the world that was linked to, I will not say it was caused by cannabis, but was linked to cannabis, would put me in a place of jeopardy in the judgment hall, and that my heart would not weigh light against the feather. And this was an alarming situation for me. There were elements of those experiences, those 5 experiences in Brazil, which are too painful for me to recount. But the net result is that when I came back to England, I was done.
And that was 2011.
And that was 2011. I was done with cannabis, and I have never smoked it again since. And for me, it has been a wonderful revelation. So
what did you discover in yourself when that was no longer clouding you?
First of all, what I discovered is that all the pain, because it was jealousy and suspicion were causing me pain as well as causing others pain.
Right.
And so that just vanished completely. I don't approach life. I don't approach the world. I don't approach my wife. I don't approach anybody I meet in a state of suspicion or mistrust. I come from a place of trust. And I would rather trust people now and perhaps be proved wrong than mistrust them. I don't like being in a place of mistrust. It's much too painful. All of that is gone. I have absolutely no paranoia. I have no suspicion. I feel very comfortable inside my own skin. I don't elaborate fantasies to worry about. I feel much happier and much more relaxed. And the big thing that was worrying me about cannabis, which was that if I stopped it, I wouldn't be able to write my books, that turned out to be total nonsense. And that far from becoming less productive since I stopped smoking cannabis, I've become much more productive. I write much more fluently.
But at the same time, during the years you were smoking, you were cranking out books. It's like people listening to this would say, how is that possible? Those books were brilliant, and there were lots of, a dozen of them or so.
I was cranking out books, and they were good books.
Yes, they were.
I was focused with cannabis. It didn't put me into dreamland. I was able to work with it, but I'll tell you what sometimes would happen, which is that sometimes I would spend an entire day puzzling over a 3-line paragraph. It slowed me down a lot.
I see. Yes.
And sometimes I think the books got a bit overlong because of that process in a weird kind of way that I would kind of keep coming back into.
It felt heavy.
A little bit heavy, and that's what's changed. And also I'm just much more productive, and I'm finding myself exploring realms of ideas that I actually didn't explore before. I feel that I've opened up a lot since then. So I feel that I've had a monkey taken off my back. And again, I want to emphasize, because I don't I don't want to be misunderstood on this. I am not putting cannabis down.
Right, I understand.
Cannabis is, for many people, an incredibly helpful aid. And there was a time in my life when it was incredibly helpful for me. My problem was the self-indulgent abuse
Yes.
of this sacred herb.